Look at Bullet Array in beast mode. Warriors, bring the hammer down! Welcome back to the game of Warriors. In today's video breakdown, we will be going over Op 2 scoring results and the updated points table. Let's get ready to bring the hammer down. Let's do this. Division 4, Op 2 scoring. No results from Jabs and Dirty Harry as both failed their solos. Jabs with the base of choice and Dirty Harry with the 159. Toe takes second place for Op 2 with 138. He did have the 184 base but succumbed to heavy troop loss with 46 warriors lost in action. Alpha, the newest addition to GOW, takes top spot for Op 2, showing us he's the new kid on the block and knows a thing or two about bringing the hammer down. Alpha had the 210 base, but did lose 40 points due to troop loss and finished first with 170. Let's see how this translates to the Division 4 updated points table for Op 2. Big Toe jumps from second to first, Alpha from third to second, and Jabs drops from first to third. Poor Harry Potter might need more tutoring from Hermione Granger to help him get a point on the board. Dirty Harry remains in fourth after 2 ops. Moving to Division 3, Op 2 scoring. Bam Bam, after being the only one to bring home the points in Op 1, fails his solo for Op 2, placing fourth. Duck takes third with 150. He had the 184 base and lost 34 points due to troop loss and finished with 150. Six takes second with his 159 base, capitalizing on 22 landing craft bonus points. Six had a troop loss of 16 and finished with 165. Mr. P takes top spot for Op 2, scoring 234 on his 210 base. 33 bonus points gained with only 9 casualties. Well done, Mr. P. Let's see what changes from yesterday on the updated points table for Division 3. What a jump from yesterday for Mr. P, going from fourth to first. Bam Bam drops from first to second. I bet he wishes he could use a mulligan. Six drops from second to third. Duck also moves around on the table, going from third, dropping to the bottom of Division 3 to fourth. All players playing musical chairs and switching spots on Op 2. Let's move on to Division 2, Op 2 scoring. Joss, with the 210 base, brings home 0 points with the failed solo. Krusher struggled on his 134, full sending it with half warriors lost in action. I did score 94 and placed third for Op 2. Rufus and Frank both scored 142. Frank wins the difference tiebreaker due to having the lower force point base and takes first. Rufus with a well-deserved second place for Op 2. How does this affect the points table? Let's take a look. Rufus, even though he lost the tie to Frank, jumps from second to first. Frank gains ground and takes second spot from Krusher, pushing him to third. And I have dropped from first spot to third spot. That really hurts. And Joss rolling up his sleeves, but unfortunately just not enough mustard in the bottle. He stays put in fourth. Let's see how the big boys did in Division 1 for Op 2, with all 4 players bringing home a solo. Krusher places fourth on his 159 base, losing 12. Let's take a look at his sliding block solo. So before we begin this madness, just like always, let's take a pause and just take a look here. So we had a really good sliding block solo yesterday, compliments of Trout. That was a lot of fun. So some differences that I'm noticing already on this sliding block right here is the lack of shield generators. If you notice, we do have a handful of flamethrowers where we should have a full square of shield generators. So aside from that, we don't have any damage amplified rocket launchers, which did do just a little bit more damage from yesterday on Trout's attack. So let's continue this madness and see how Krusher continued this solo. So we do have a barrage. There it is. So this is what I am familiar with regards to soloing sliding block with warriors. So he's going to be barting out that closest rocket launcher right there, which is, of course, is going to be saving those warriors some trouble. I do believe Krusher, I don't think we followed up on the engraving, but regardless are not these max level warriors. Really don't have much to worry about with these max level rocket launchers on these operations here. Now, if he is using sabotage or the armor engraving, then of course that is going to make a very big difference as well. Krusher doing an excellent job farming power cells, setting up the GBE bank to move forward with this attack here. At this point, it looks like we've got at least 1, 2, and now 3 rocket launchers in range of Krusher's warriors as he continues to push forward, farming those power cells. Enough farming has been reached. We're now going to regroup under the coverage of a 2 smoke drop and anchor on a power cell as we quickly transition that to an anchor on the shock launcher to the top left there. And of course, warriors did take a little bit of damage from those flamethrowers. So as that smoke does get ready to expire, we're probably going to see a couple shocks, possibly 1 shock coming out to the right of the warriors and then a taunt. Who needs a shock on the right when you've got bullet? Yeah, I love it. The late shock coming out there, but that was beautiful, freaking beautiful bullet placement for the taunt right there. And now we are just going in for the free clear here. So this is easy pickings for the warriors here. The extra flamethrowers does look like it makes this just a little bit more challenging, but I gotta give it to Krusher. He is handling this with ease. These warriors are steam rolling forward, absolutely consuming everything and anything in their path. Krusher is now getting to the point of no return where he does need to regroup and anchor, and I love how Bullet's still picking off that power cell, which is going to screw up the anchor there. So I'm not sure if that might have been the downfall there, but the warriors and Bullet were still anchoring on that power cell under the smoke, and unfortunately Bullet was just outside that smoke radius, which caused him to take out the power cell, which I believe screwed up the grouping of the warriors. So I'm not saying that's the downfall to the hit here, because the solo was still achieved here, but that might have been a minor mishap here. Let's continue and see what Krusher does. So here's the regroup here. You're going to see the anchor on the machine gun at approximately 10 o'clock of the power core here. We're going to see that anchor on the machine gun and then possibly a 4 smoke drop here. 1, 2. Oh, I love it. I love it. Experience is kicking in. Yes, you can do a through. I was literally in the process of saying, yes, you can do a 3-core smoke drop, as we do have multiple warriors peaking at 9 o'clock of the power core under that 3 smoke core drop. Let's continue here, but I love the aggressiveness here. And more warriors peaking at approximately 5 o'clock. This is exactly why we do 4-core smoke drops. Yes, it does consume more gunboat energy, but it does take a lot of practice to get that 3-core smoke drop lined up. It is possible. I've done it. I've seen it done many times. It does take a lot of practice. So yes, the 3-core smoke drop is very possible. Let's continue. And those smokes are getting ready to expire, of course, with delay being lost here. So that might have been the second downfall of the hit here, with delay being lost at the end there. But those warriors made very quick work of that power core there. Beautiful execution on slotting block from Mr. Krusher. Boom! Goes the dynamite. LoneWolf with the base of choice places 3rd on his 109 quota. Let's see how he did, taking advantage of 55 bonus points. And here we go. We've been seeing a fair amount of quotas recently, and I know for a fact, and there it is, you're going to see that critter box coming out on the top right. Why? Because our closest rocket launcher in range of those power cells that are to be farmed, honestly, I believe are these 3 right here. So we've got a nice range of power cells here, at least this top bunch right over here. We're going to zoom out for a second here, because I know we got some mines up front here that I believe LoneWolf... I knew it! I love it. I was going to think that LoneWolf was going to be getting that artillery ready right there, opening up the path here. So while that artillery came out in the mid, we do have our critters farming on the top right here. So right now I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 3. That's 18 GBE being added to the bank there. Absolutely beautiful. Now we're at 21. Let's bring 21 and up that to 24. 24 now jumps to 27. 27 is soon to be 30. And there's our 30 right there. Are we bringing it to 33? Yes, we are. 33. Do I hear 36? 36 GBE added to the bank. Why 36 when we can get 39? Let's go for 39 here. One rocket launcher finally in range of the critters, and Bullet coming out with the warriors. That's 39. That is 42 right there. Critters are still farming, but let's pay attention to the drop here. Beautiful Bullet and 3 boats of warriors. 1 boat being flanked on the right, 2 boats being flanked on the left of Bullet under the coverage of a 2 smoke drop as we try to set up the anchor flare on the rocket launcher. Let's continue here. Follow up 3rd smoke and 4th smoke as we anchor on the rocket launcher. Critters are now expendable. They have done their job. We're going to follow up anchor on the rocket launcher at approximately 5 o'clock with a beautiful and aggressive 4-core smoke drop, which we will now transition from the anchor to the core flare. Beautiful. Let's zoom out a little bit here because right before those smokes expire, we should see those shocks, critters, and then shocks coming out. That's 1 shock, 2 shock, and 3 shock. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to pause that for a second here. So remember, 3 boats of... That's actually 4 shocks. No, 3. My bad. So beautiful Bullet placement first. Once again, this was just like yesterday, which we witnessed. Bullet is at 5 o'clock directly underneath that rocket launcher there. 3 boats of warriors wrapped around the power core there. Bullet's taunt doing an excellent job pulling in all and every defense in a 6-tile radius here. And the 3 shocks coming out, pinning down the flamethrower and the mortar right above the core there. We've got the rocket launchers, and it looks like the hot pot as well, even though that hot pot is well out of range. So I don't think the hot pot was the priority. Just the dual rocket launchers here, or at least one of them, because I do see that one firing. That's shock number 2. And a late 3rd shock coming out, pinning down the shock launcher there, because of course that would throw off the timing with Bullet and his taunt. And of course we need that taunt activated 24/7 for these 3 boats of warriors to get this solo. So let's continue and see how Lone Wolf manages. Beautiful. Beautiful. Critters coming out at approximately 3. Love it. We got shocked. A second shock's coming out. That's a beautiful reshock cycle. Warriors are bringing the hammer down. And honestly, Quota, I'm starting to really enjoy these solos here due to the critter farming. You got 2 minutes to sit back, let them do their thing. You know the path. This is a really, really fun solo to watch. Excellent, excellent job from Lone Wolf. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Second goes to the impressive Trout, who scores 182 on his 184 base. 22 bonus points gained with 24 points lost due to troop loss. Let's check this madness out. Low point. Now, the only low point solo that we've seen so far, I believe, was from the trial run, and that was from Jabs. And Jabs did an excellent low point solo with Bullet, and already I see Bullet being deployed on the far left side of the ramp here. So Bullet is going to be taking out these 3 rocket launchers, or you're going to see Bullet being flared to this rocket launcher here, and then he's going to be flared up top here with most likely a critter box being dropped on this rocket launcher to clear that one. After the 3 rocket launchers have been removed, Bullet will then move up to take out the 3 shield generators, which will then expose the soft underbelly of the core, setting up the warrior rush. Let's continue. So we're going to speed this one up to ×2, and I like it. A direct flare to the closest rocket launcher on the left side of the beach there. After that rocket launcher goes down, you're going to... There it is. Okay, so from the bottom to the top, which means you're going to see that critter come out on that mid rocket launcher as soon as that top rocket launcher gets taken out. Love it. Opening up the mines here. Excellent. Okay, so rocket launchers have been taken out now. Bullet under the coverage of smoke. We've got critters out right now, which I think is going to throw off the timing. Actually, Trout is completely ignoring that rocket launcher. Let's go! It's no threat, so why even bother waste the gunboat energy? So Bullet in position. He does have to deal with those pesky critters first. We do have multiple snipers fire... One sniper firing on Bullet with 2 rocket launchers. I love that Bullet is just outside of range of the machine guns. Not like they would do anything anyways. Actually, once we change to... No, beautiful. You know what, Trout? I don't think your Bullet positioning will get any better than that. He is literally just on the cusp of the outside radius of both machine guns here. And he didn't even have to move to retarget the other shield generators. Absolutely phenomenal Bullet placement. Well done, Trout. I'm starting to become a really big fan of Trout and his hits. He's a very skilled warrior player. So let's continue this madness. Bullet is about to take out that 3rd shield generator, which will now expose the soft underbelly of the core. And there it is. There it is. And look, oh my god, I didn't even think of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boats of warriors. We know we capitalize on landing craft bonus points. We've got 1 rocket launcher and a farm, a massive farm of power cells for the taking here. Old MacDonald had a farm, but then he decided he would hire a warrior to get it done. I knew we had a nursery rhyme somewhere there, Jabs. Help me out. Let's continue this madness here. So all right up top here. I love it. We're just flanking. Oh my god, Bullet's coming back. Are you kidding me? Bullet working overtime, taking care of business and working overtime. Bullet single-handedly setting up the left side farm with the warriors, moving up top, taking out the shield generators, and Trout still having Bullet enough mustard in the bottle, enough juice left in Bullet to bring him back to regroup with those warriors, because I believe we will be utilizing Bullet's taunt for the core rush here. So let's continue this madness here. Ample power cells for the farming here. I'm not even going to attempt to count this, but we are now regrouping and anchoring right underneath a power cell here that Bullet literally just destroyed. We just witnessed this, I believe, on the first hit with Krusher, where he went to anchor on a power cell to then regroup to the next anchor, but Bullet was right outside the smoke radius, and he ends up taking out the power cell, which then causes the warriors to spread, which then essentially causes a little bit of a panic and just throws off your pathing and your pacing here. So unfortunately, I think we just witnessed that right there. Yep, warriors are starting to spread. There's the regroup. We're going to anchor on the, shock launcher, the critter launcher at approximately 10 o'clock of the core here. Let's bring this back to normal speed. As we anchor on the critter launcher, we should see a 4-core smoke drop. Beautiful. If you're going to farm and you've got the gunboat energy, you know you're going to utilize it for a 4-core smoke drop. That was ugly. We lost a chunk, and I mean a chunk, probably 5, 6, or 7 warriors from that one boom mine. You really got to be careful with warriors and boom mines, especially when they're clumped together. I mean, I've seen a whole landing craft of warriors being taken out by a boom mine because they were just perfectly clumped when they hit it, and we just witnessed and experienced something very close to that. Let's continue this, and of course, as those smokes get ready to expire, critter box coming out at a high 3. First shock, second shock, third shock, fourth shock. So it looks like first shock came out at approximately 9, 10 o'clock. We're pinning down the critter launchers and the mortars. That's 2 shocks. We did have the third shock come out, pinning down the shock launcher with the boom cannons at approximately 3, 4, and 5 o'clock. And it looks like our fourth shock... Oh, there's 5 shocks. That's my mistake. 1, 2, 3... 4. Fourth shock, got the cluster of flamethrowers from approximately 3 to 6, and our 5th shock actually came out, pinning down multiple rocket launchers and the shock launcher. That was a key shock, grabbing that shock launcher right there. And of course, as we continue, boom cannon, single shot, probably one of the biggest threat when it does come to our warriors, but beautiful gunboat energy management, phenomenal execution to get Bullet not only taking care of business, but working overtime. And that was a really fun hit to watch and commentate on. Well done, Mr. Trout. Boom! Goes the dynamite. LoneWolf takes first on his 210, scoring 217. 22 bonus points gained for landing craft bonus, and 15 warriors lost in action. Let's check this out. LoneWolf is a big fan of that armor engraving here, and look at that critter farming here. Look at that farm. What are you doing, Wolf? He's like, I ain't got time for that. Look at that one rocket launcher. So essentially, all this is up for grabs for the critters. If Mr. Wolf decides, oh, he's gonna do it with the warriors. Why get a critter to do a warrior's job? Let's speed this up here to ×2 here. Warriors are keeping it tight on the right here as we set them up for the farming. This is insane. I've become so accustomed to critter farming for GOW now that I didn't even comprehend that we can just bring the warriors back there and get it done even faster. So this is bringing time management to a whole new level. Love it, Wolf. And of course, a big shout out to all the warrior players at Web Reloaded. These boys really do know how to bring the hammer down. And look at that, guys. Okay, I'm not even going to attempt that. Do the math right there. Count the power cells, times it by 3. That's the GBE added to the bank right now. So we've just anchored on a power cells. We now set up our next move, and a beautiful ground flare, as looks like we, there we go, ground flare. We're going to pause that for a second. That was a ground flare transition to anchor on the mortar at approximately 3 o'clock here. You know, Bullet still taking a sweet time. There he is right over there. And while we did anchor on the mortar at 3, we also did have, which looks like a 3-course smoke drop. So I believe what Webb is going to be doing here is the Warriors will be wrapped around this 3-course smoke drop. When that anchor smoke expires, Bullet will be exposed first for probably about 2 seconds. He'll activate Taunt. That'll draw in all the defenses, all the rocket launchers, shock launchers, you name it, which will give LoneWolf about 1 to 2 seconds before the smokes around the Warriors expire, which then the shocks will already be out, which honestly should transition to a much easier takedown here. So this is a very skilled transition to the core, if this is what I think we're about to witness here. So let's bring this down to ×1. So Bullet now makes it to the anchored mortar at 3 o'clock. We should see a flare to the core any second now. This is making me nervous. Those timers are about... Oh my god, I love it. He actually times it. I love that. That was aggressive. He actually... Look at Bullet already in beast mode. Warriors, bring the hammer down! Absolutely beautiful. So this is a technique that I would do when I don't actually drop a 4-core smoke drop, when I'm just utilizing an anchor and then transitioning directly to a core flare, timing my smoke to expire. So I really liked how actually there was an anchor smoke on the mortar, and then there was the 3-core smoke drop, and then he pretty much timed the flare for when all 4 of those smokes expired. Bullet's taunt is in action here. Beautiful shock already coming out, pinning down the shock launcher. It actually looks like we did miss this one here. So let's continue and see. Yes! Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. So the shock launcher at a very, very far 6, 7 o'clock there actually did fire away and grouped and clustered all the Warriors directly in front of the building health and building damage masterpiece. So let's see if Wolf realizes the missed shock launcher and follows up with a shock here. Bullet's taunt doing an excellent job pulling in multiple defenses. Look at that. That mortar is well beyond 6 tiles, but Bullet was in pre-run to the core when that taunt was activated, which actually pulled in the defenses as he was running to the core, which is why that mortar, which is well more than 6 tiles away, is taunted here. So let's see if we get that shock on the shock launcher. He completely ignores it. We're going to see a follow-up shock come in here. We have to. Yeah, there it is. Late, but not forgotten. Beautiful job. Critters coming out late for distraction. And Bullet and the Warriors and LoneWolf bringing the hammer down. Beautiful job. Beautiful solo. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Division 1 keeping it tight. Only changes on the points table or the Wolf switching spots. Thank you all for tuning in to Game of Warriors, Op2 scoring results and Op2 updated points table. We will be returning tomorrow for Op3. Have a wonderful night, my friends. We'll see you then.